Hi everyone, I'm Diego, and I want to tell you something that has been eating me up inside for a while now. I'm not very good at writing, but I need to get this off my chest. It all started one summer, one of those days when the heat doesn't let you breathe and the humidity makes you feel sticky all the time. Samuel and I had been friends since high school. We were united by our passion for video games and YouTube channels. At that time, we decided to open our own channel. It was something simple. We would record our games and share tips and tricks. The channel grew and we started to have more followers. One of them, who I will call Follower X to protect his identity, became very active in the comments. He was always sending us messages and giving us ideas for new videos. We didn't think much of it at first. One day, El Seguidor X sent us a private message saying he wanted to meet us in person. He told us he lived in a nearby city and had an amazing story to tell for the channel. Samuel, who was always looking for new and exciting content, decided it would be a good idea. I, for one, had my doubts, but Samuel managed to convince me. We arranged to meet in a public park on a Saturday afternoon. We arrived at the place and waited. A few minutes passed and a boy of our age appeared. He was thin, wore a cap, and looked quite normal. He greeted us and told us his name was Alex. He told us that he had discovered something in a nearby forest that would make us famous if we recorded it and uploaded it to the channel. Samuel was excited, so we agreed to go to the forest with him. The walk to the forest was long and complicated. We walked for hours in the blazing sun. Alex led us on trails that seemed to have no end. It was starting to get dark when we finally reached a clearing of sorts. In the center was an old abandoned building. Alex told us that the place had a dark history and that strange things happened at night. Samuel, with his camera in hand, started filming. I felt more and more uncomfortable. Something didn't add up. We entered the building and the atmosphere became heavy. The air was stale and there was a strange smell. Alex led us through the corridors until we reached a room. On the walls were symbols I didn't recognize, and in the center of the room was a table with what looked like animal remains. Suddenly, Alex became serious and told us that we should stay there all night to capture any phenomena. Samuel, who was not afraid of anything, agreed without thinking. I wanted to leave, but Samuel convinced me to stay. Hours passed and the night grew darker. We were sitting on the ground when we heard a noise outside. Samuel went outside to investigate and, after a few minutes, did not return. I waited for a while, thinking he was joking, but when I got tired of waiting, I went out to look for him. There was no sign of Samuel. I started to panic and called the police. They arrived quickly and started searching, but found nothing. Alex was also missing. The police questioned me for hours. They checked the channel and found messages from Follower X, but they couldn't trace him. They told me they would keep investigating, but they never found any concrete leads. Days passed and despair took hold of me. I closed the channel and tried to go on with my life, but guilt and fear never left me alone. To this day, I don't know what happened to Samuel or Alex. Some nights, I dream of that forest and the feeling that something terrible was watching us. I hope that telling this story serves as a warning. Don't trust strangers on the internet and never, but never, go into dark and lonely places without a second thought.